Hey, I thought I'd start another video. It's had a lot of views on the video about this particular solar generator. I did finish it, so I kind of wanted to go through it again real quick and then show some of my other generators all in one video. And just finished up wrapping up another Jag35 battery for one of my use cases. The main thing I hadn't done in the previous video was I hadn't added the Anderson connectors on this. So right now, as you can see, and if you watched the other video, I've got a 12 volt, 100 amp hour powerqueen battery, lithium iron phosphate. And this is all pretty much self-contained as a generator. It's got a 2000 watt Roar bat inverter in there as well. So everything gets turned on basically here. Puts it on. Got a USB port that's also a meter. Push one side of that and you can see the voltage of the whole system. And this is the remote for the inverter. It's on. I can turn it on. Now the inverter's on. I can turn it off. Anderson quick disconnects as well. And then this isn't entirely actually still done. I want to make this entirely removable. This is the solar input. Got fusible link. One of the cheap eBay charge controllers, which actually does work. I think this was maybe $15 to $18, I think, on eBay. But I can turn the input to that on and off from this. This is some leftover stuff I had from the solar art studio. Fusible links, and then I have a fuse box down there as well for smaller things that need to be run off of it. And I thought we need to put some fans in here at some point, so I wanted to have a power source that I could tap into. But anyway, I got the charge ports here, or the extension cord ports here. I am probably going to put one of these in. This is a meter that can track the actual output of one of these ports. So I may put one more port in now and then run it through this so I can have one source that shows me how much output I have going out to an individual device. More or less just for fun. This was relatively cheap and I wanted to see how it worked. That's some of the wiring for it. But that's pretty much it. This thing's been working fine. This thing is the one that I can run all the way up to my rigid table saw, and it's a pretty powerful battery. And I would take this out to the farm, and if we ever need to run anything out there. One thing I haven't tried yet is I haven't tried the welder to see if it'll run off that. I should probably try that. I'll probably do a quick video and see if it'll run the welder. Got a multi-process welder there and see if that works. Anyway, that's my mobile one. This one more or less is the one that stays in my Ryobi tool shed. If you've seen the other video there, this is a 24 volt. So it's a 24 volt inverter. Something you got to consider, and it's got a higher end EPEVer. This one pretty much sits inside the tool shed and charges all the Ryobi batteries for our lawn equipment, stuff like that. This one's got Wi-Fi. You plug it in and I can track usage for the shed. I also use that shed for backup power for the art studio. So sometimes I will feed this inverter into the art studio. So fusible links. The circuit board is actually a temp monitor. And when the temp gets above a certain amount, as it does here in Texas, it will turn these two 24 volt fans on. So we got an in and out of fan, so we're moving air through. So this is just the charge controller and the inverter. So I wanted to keep this kind of a modular system, and then there's only so much room too. So that is actually powered by this Jag35 battery kit. It's you build, you put the 18650 batteries in it. This one has 168 of those batteries in it. I think it ends up being like a 17 amp hour or something like that battery. And nice thing about this one for the tool shed is it's outside, and it does freeze here in Texas from time to time, so I don't have to worry about having a lithium phosphate battery out in the shed freezing and keeping it warm. So I was actually just putting some spacers in it because it has been moving around and I need it to not move around. So I was going to think about building one more. So I've been using these Link toolkits so that I can stack them up and make all of this mobile. So I bought the smallest one because I had a few more batteries left and bought a few more Jag 35 batteries, and then built this small, it's about a 7 I think amp hour battery with 70 of the 18650, and they're like 2400 milliamp hour batteries. And that one I had thought about putting in here, mounting it something like that, and then I've got another one of the cheap charge controllers and use this so that it can also be charged. And I was going to use this to power, have it something waterproof that can power the irrigation system we're putting in for our raised bed gardens. And I think we're going to see if we can also use rain barrel water for our front lawn and set up a system for that too. Ryobi actually makes a transfer pump that might work well for that. But anyway, I'm not sure that's going to be what happens. I'm thinking about possibly, I've made all this stuff modular in this so that I can actually lift this out. It's on its own piece here. Move this out of the way and probably take this upriver out and mount it to the roof here. And I'm considering putting that battery in here to make this one fully a generator as well, and so that it wouldn't need this battery all the time. And then I'll put in a disconnect, like a dual battery disconnect, and so I can use one battery or the other or both for charging this shed. And this would be yet another mobile one with not a whole lot of power. It's only a 1000-watt inverter, but it would still be operable for power wherever I want to take it with a even smaller footprint. This one's obviously pretty good size. It's the full bottom part of the Ryobi Link kit with the wheels and all that. But I can also do that with this even smaller one. So I haven't decided yet, but I built the battery up today, and with the rest of the batteries I had, 18650 batteries, I think we got like 300 of them from Jag 35. They're some of the shuckable old internet modem battery packs that usually have either 2 or 3 batteries in them, and you can usually get them for somewhere around $1 a battery, which is a decent deal if you don't mind the time spent actually getting them out of the package and then putting them in the modules and actually building the battery. So I actually made a short, well, probably post as a short with a time lapse of building this particular one. So if you're interested in how that works, there's really not a lot to it. It just shows me assembling it and then putting the captain's tape on it. So, so as far as what I have options now for this is you have the Anderson connector with MC4 connectors. So this is where I bring the solar in for this one. And I have, if I want to hook this up then into the tool shed, I also have Anderson connector for going to an XT90 connector, which is how I have a lot of the tool shed wired. So I built that. I don't really like the XT90 connectors a whole lot. They're difficult to solder at times. But that's how a lot of this stuff is set up. Like this system here goes in through here, plugs in, see if we can come on, starts up the fans real quick, and there is the charge controller. And solar for this one comes in on an XT90 as well over on this side. And that's how it's usually mounted when it's inside the tool shed. But I'm thinking about going away from that and doing a little more work with the Anderson connectors. Only problem with them is most of them tend to be 50 amp. These are XT90s are actually 90 amp connectors. So they will accept a little more amperage. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to go over, but that's pretty much it. The last thing I really want to do with this is make this piece here entirely removable. Right now I can disconnect the battery from it. I need to get it so that I can disconnect the solar as well. I don't have those Anderson connectors in yet. Got the pieces here, so that will probably get done relatively soon. so that I can take all the solar parts, charging parts out of this, so this is just a battery and an inverter. And then I think I'll be done with this one. But that's pretty much it. These are some of the options and things you can do with building a solar battery, a solar charged mobile battery. We bought a 2023 Ford Lightning, so there's an outside chance I may try to build something a little bigger than this even, with 220, that could serve as basically an electric gas can for an electric vehicle, and see if we can charge from something like that. That might be in the future, we'll see. I'm not sure about that yet. But anyway, these are all my generators right now. Getting ready to start on, that's why I was building this, getting ready to start on the raised bed gardens. It's almost planting time, and I need to get some pumping built and our rain barrels mounted, and we'll be coming up with some sort of a solar powered control module for that. I'm using Arduino right now. It looks like it's probably going to work for powering the pumps based on soil moisture and or just a timed system. So anyway, that's where we are on these projects. And check out Jag35. Jay Garcia has a lot of cool stuff on his site, and he has been in building electric batteries, cars, and scooters, and he has scooter batteries for sale. I don't get any compensation from him, but his site is well done. He has a lot of good videos, and a lot of my start in all of this came from videos that he produces. So pretty cool guy and cool stuff. I'd like to meet him at some point. Anyway, talk to you later and have a good weekend, and please subscribe and like if you are interested in these kind of videos. Thanks. Bye.